Hello, I'm Marina Orms, the founder of Astrology Heals. You can check me out at astrologyheals.com. And today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about eclipses. What do eclipses mean in astrology? And so you'll notice that we have a new moon and a full moon on a 28-day cycle approximately, but we don't have an eclipse every time there is a new moon or a full moon. And so a new moon, these are all about alignments of three celestial bodies: the moon, the earth, and the sun. And of course, we're on the earth, so we're noticing the alignments of the moon and the sun in relation to our location, which is the earth. So when when the moon is in its orbit, passing on the far side of the earth from the sun, we have a line of these three bodies: the sun, the earth, and the moon. And that is a full moon with the earth in the middle. So the sun and moon are on opposite sides of the earth, and they happen to fall in opposite sides of the zodiac at the same time. So during a full moon, the sun and the moon are always in exactly opposite zodiac signs. And if you know the wheel of the zodiac, it goes from Aries through Pisces. So you can find where the different signs are, and wherever the sun is during a full moon, the moon will be in the opposite sign. During a new moon, what's happening is that the three bodies are also in alignment, but the moon is passing between the sun and the earth in its orbit. So that it's the point in the moon's orbit where it is falling in a line so it goes from sun and then the moon in the middle and then the earth. And when that happens, from our perspective on earth, the moon and the sun are in the same sign of the zodiac. In fact, they are in the same degree of the zodiac during the exact new moon, and that's the definition of a new moon. And so we have a new moon and a full moon that happen about every 2 weeks. And then we also have the fact that the moon is orbiting the earth in a plane that is slightly different from the plane of the Earth's orbit around the sun. So think about a marble in the middle of a plate, and then another marble going around the edge of that plate. That would be, the plate would be the plane. And now if the marble in the center of the plate is the sun and the marble on the edge of the plate is the earth, now we have to imagine the moon orbiting around the earth, and the moon is orbiting around the earth at a plane that is tilted to that plate. So it goes sometimes above the plate and sometimes below the plate as it orbits around the earth. And when the moon passes between the sun and the earth, we have a new moon. When the moon passes on the far side of the earth from the sun, so that the sun and moon are on opposite sides of the earth, we have a full moon, but it is not always in the same plane. So there are going to be 2 points in the moon's orbit where the moon crosses that plate. So crosses the plane of the Earth's orbit around the sun. And when a new or full moon happens during the time when the moon is crossing that plate or that plane, that's when we have an eclipse, because the moon is also falling in line such that it actually blocks the light of the sun in the case of a solar eclipse, or the moon is passing through the Earth's shadow in the case of a lunar eclipse. And so when eclipses happen, they tend to happen in 2s or 3s. We call that an eclipse season. And an eclipse season is taking place when the new moon and full moon are taking place during the moon passing through that area of the plane or the plate that we're imagining in our minds. And so that's what creates an eclipse. And so for astrologers, not only do we have new moon that's in the same degree, same sign with the sun and the moon, sun and moon opposite creates a full moon in opposite signs, but we also have the addition of this further alignment. So not only do we have the three bodies in a line, but we also have that line in the same plane, and so three-dimensional plane. And when that happens, it's like it's like a piece of a puzzle is clicking into place. Something is lining up that clicks and that opens a kind of an energetic gateway. And when we open that energetic gateway, powerful things can happen. And so eclipses and the energy of eclipses tend to be times of transition, of shift, of new awareness, of something coming, something going, something changing, something coming into your awareness that wasn't there before, or something different that you need to adjust to. And so from my perspective, in the way that I do evolutionary and transformational astrology, we always look at what are the evolutionary opportunities of any particular astrological alignment. And so with eclipses, I would say that whatever's happening is always an invitation for you to learn something. So if you're experiencing stress or challenge or difficulty, the astrological energies, the universe, whatever you want to call it, is actually inviting you to step into a higher awareness, a higher way of operating, a more functional way of operating, a healing, something that allows you to be more effective in your life, to experience the things you want, more joy, more passion, more abundance, more ability to move and act, perhaps. And when those eclipses are present, there's some extra that's like an extra wave of energy ready to carry you to your own next level of possibility. And so that's what is coming your way when we have eclipses. When we have a series of eclipses, there tends to be some shift and some movement, and it's inviting you to step into a higher level of possibility for yourself, for what you can manifest, for what you can experience, for healing and clearing old stuck patterns, old ways of being that aren't working for you anymore. So if you're stuck in a pattern of not making enough money or not finding the right relationship, these are invitations to step into a more functional experience, a more abundant, more flowing experience of having what you want. And of course, as human beings, when we don't have what we want, we're being invited to learn something about who we are. And so how do we organize ourselves, rally ourselves to rise to the challenges that are before us, and to learn whatever the stress or challenge is inviting us to step into and learn? So that is what an eclipse means in astrology. Of course, every individual eclipse has its own specific meaning depending on what sign it falls in, and depending on what else is happening with the other planets. So, but I hope you've enjoyed this, and you can learn more about what I do on my blog, astrologyheals.com/blog. And I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.